What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. My name is Adam Palmer. I am your host. This is Daily Nonsense. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about NT football releasing, some cool stuff that the Colorado football team did for a recruit, and the price of some of the Topps Chrome Logofractor boxes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Are the sports card nonsense guys holding Adam hostage in one of their basements? No, they are not. I'm rebuilding the set, as you can see. I don't really have anything on the walls yet. I felt like the black curtain that I had behind me that was blocking the bedroom, or that was blocking the bed that I had in the background, was getting a little outdated. Didn't really look the best. So I'm working on getting some stuff set up here and just figuring all that out. So I just want to make sure that's clear as you're watching these videos going forward in the next couple weeks. You'll probably see me adding stuff to the background. This used to be one of the biggest days in the sports card industry. It is the release of National Treasures football, and maybe you could argue National Treasures basketball was a bigger day because of the some of the prospects that have come out of those products. But National Treasures football, that is today's release. And I think this is going to be one of Topps's struggles in the first few years when they take over the license for football and basketball, is branding products. Because I think that NT football, I think all the Panini brands, and I've said this in the past, I think all of Panini's brands, I think, have a stronger brand presence in the hobby than maybe Topps's do. Bowman, Topps Chrome, Topps Finest, I think are Topps's biggest brands, but other than maybe Heritage as well. But other than that, I think if 5-Star is one of the higher end brands, and I know I'm just naming off brands at this point, but I think it's harder to find brands that Topps have that have more of a mainstay in the industry than National Treasures or Optic or Donruss or Prism. National Treasures specifically, as they move over some of these other sports into their own portfolios. But I just think that the NT branding, the National Treasures branding, is some of the strongest ones. And with NT football, the big player that's going to be coming out of this product is going to be JJ McCarthy. And that's obviously because Topps has the Drake May, it has Caleb Williams. With those athletes that have been bought by Topps, JJ McCarthy is the big name. And I could see Panini pushing back some of the releases for football, even if they shouldn't have, because we're coming out with 2024 NT football as the 2025-2026 preseason starts. So there are new rookies that are in Donruss products. There's new rookies that are being released. So we're releasing this year's rookies and last year's rookies all at the same time. And I've had a big problem with this for a while. I think that, though, it would be an interesting idea to release cards of players the year after they are a rookie, because I think that for the sports card industry, the hype, the money that goes into some of the new rookies, some of the new players, is wasted money. I think that a lot of people are trying to gamble with some of these new rookies. And I think if you look at products that have come out throughout the years, the amount of rookies that people buy in the first year during their rookie year versus how many of them end up panning out, in my opinion, it's not super high. We talked about Zion, and he was a fine basketball player, and that's what you're going to find. You're going to find players end up being fine in the leagues that they play in, but the amount of money that was spent on them during their rookie seasons, I don't think ends up panning out. I don't think it ends up being a good buy. That's why my advice always is, with these new rookies, is buying and selling them as quickly as possible, figuring out the window that you need to, or that you want to buy and sell. But any long-term holds of rookies in their rookie year or in their second year just doesn't seem like a good idea, in my opinion, because there's too much volatility within a player's career. And all you have to do is look at every number one pick in the draft, and you can see what the percentage of players that pan out are. It's actually a lot lower probably than you would expect, or even just first rounders. I mean, maybe first overall picks, and a lot of them end up panning out. But there is going to be a higher percentage than then I guess I'm trying to come up with the words here. There's a percentage that is not worth the risk you are taking by buying those prospects. That's how I would word it, I think. Another cool story that came out over the past weekend was that Colorado, the Buffaloes, the football team, Deion Sanders is coach of that team. They were recruiting a player, and the player put on Instagram a booklet that the Colorado team put together, like a custom book of sports cards. And I think that's really cool that sports cards are being used to recruit athletes. I don't think it's happening in every single circumstance. I mean, when you're recruiting, I think the more individualized you can be is going to be better for you than not. So, this is probably a scenario where they got info that this person liked sports cards. This player liked cards, and that's why they're using cards as a recruiting tactic. And we've seen throughout the past couple years more and more mainstream, bigger name brands using sports cards as either their marketing, or whether it's the sports teams using that in their Twitter posts or their Instagram posts. The rise in that, I think, is very cool. Now, I thought that it was going to be much quicker, because this is sort of a topic that I've honestly covered for many years at this point. The usage of sports card concepts in marketing has increased tenfold over the past few years. Even going back to 2020, 2021, there were teams and players and companies using that concept. And I thought when I was first seeing that, oh, this is going to be something that's widely adopted, I think. And, it was in a sense, but at the same time, maybe not to the extent that I thought it was. So there was a cool booklet that Deion Sanders and the Buff and in Colorado put together for an athlete. The last story we have here is going to be another variation of the Topps Chrome product. So the Topps Chrome Logofractor, which I put out an article on the print run, and that was something that I had talked about previously and talked about, you should probably be looking into Topps Chrome rookies versus regular base rookies if you're looking to, I don't know, invest or buy and sell over the flagship, because there just were a lot less of them. So the Logofractor SKU was not based into that opinion, or not the opinion, but the numbers itself. And so this is going to add some. But I think the interesting thing that Topps has done here, the price from when it released 4 years ago has gone from $50 to $65, and then last year it was $110, and then this year it's $120. And I think there's only two things here. I just don't see how the product can go from $50 to $120 in such a short span. The only thing is that it was priced incorrectly the first time, because I don't think the cards that you're getting out of that product are like, you're not getting a 120% increase in the value of the cards you're pulling from that product. That's just not realistic. So, I mean, unless it was priced incorrectly, that's one reason why I could see it jumping. But even from last year to the year before that, it went from 65 to 110. So again, it had to have been priced incorrectly by someone at Topps, and that's why it was 50 when it first started, and now it's 120. Because I just look at that product, and there is, to me, it's unfortunate that we're seeing such a huge increase and such a skew of that product. And I don't necessarily love that there are so many SKUs of different products. Like, there's Topps Chrome, there's Topps Chrome Sapphire, there's Topps Chrome Logofractors, there's Topps Chrome Mega Boxes, there's Blaster Boxes, there's Hobby Boxes. I think it convolutes the product a little bit. It makes it much more confusing for people to try and buy. And so I'm a little bit worried that is what Topps' plan is with a lot of different products going forward. I know on previous, like last week, I talked about the Topps Chrome price being a little bit over the top and $300 for a hobby box wasn't worth it. I think that if this product was maybe $60, $70, that's a good idea. Maybe the concept, they thought of it and they wanted to increase the price at first. And when they came out with the $50, they saw that it was just too inexpensive and that it was selling for more on the secondary market, which that is probably where this comes from. If I'm going to be honest, the secondary market, I think, has affected the price of sports cards from retailers for quite some time. So that's what we're seeing from this Topps Chrome Logofractor. And that's all we've got for today's episode. So I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go back and watch the episodes this past week. Go watch my stuff from the National. I still am really proud of those videos and what the amount of content that I was able to do while I was at the show. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.